I'm certified in project management, and this book tells you the global standard to doing any project right. Today, in 3 minutes, I'm going to tell you all 8 domains of a project, and at the end, a cherry on top. So let's not waste any time. Before we talk about all of the domains of a project, what's a project anyways? Well, a lot of things. Studying for a test, developing a game maybe, and even living out your day. To be exact, anything that's temporary and anything that gives unique value is a project. That's almost everything. So let's learn how to run a project right. The first of the 8 domains is team performance. How can you, as the project leader, remove obstacles in the way of your team? And if you're doing a project by yourself, how can you remove obstacles from your future self? Are there any systems or expectations you can set up which makes the future easier? Because you can't put your energy to work if you have no energy in the first place. Make your team, even a team of 1, a powerful team. Number 2 is project approach. How are you going to attack this project over time? Are you going to lay out all the work to do beforehand, or are you going to grow as you go? It matters more that you have a plan than whatever plan you choose. Tell yourself and your team the overarching plan of the project. Number 3 is planning. How are you going to support this general plan? Write down what risks you may face, who's involved, how to tell when things go wrong. The more prepared you are at the start, the less time it takes to address issues in the project. So keep documents, even if they're sticky notes, of how you're going to manage these things as they arise. Number 4 is delivery. How can you make sure that at the end of it all, your project was really worth it? What's the point of doing something if at the end it doesn't give any value? Whether that value is a finished project or just time with friends or just being happy. Set up a system to track whether the value will still be delivered. Number 5 is measurement. How can you make sure that your project's on track? Are there milestones you can create? Maybe indicators you can find? Make sure you know how the project's going so you can adapt before it's too late. Number 6 is project work. How can you support the work you're doing with good project systems? How can you manage flow and stay focused, manage resources, and enable learning? With the planning that you've created, how can you make steps to put yourself back on track when things go wrong? How can you stop bad things from happening at all? Number 7 is uncertainty. How can you address issues you don't even know exist? How can you manage uncertainty, ambiguity, complexity, volatility, and risk? How can you make sense of really complex information? Write out things you know you can't see. The best way to combat uncertainty is holding on to what you know is certain. Number 8 is stakeholders. How can you track who is involved, by how much, and how they get value from your project? How can you communicate effectively enough to be on the same page and the same side? You don't always have to agree with people or give them everything you want, but it's best to write out what they want and expect in case you do care later. Now that was a really quick introduction to every single part of a project, and as promised, it's time for the cherry on top. The secret is, not every project is made equally. Every project's unique, so no project should be run exactly like the last one. So after you go out and learn about these 8 domains, always be aware of your project. Focus on the domains that are most important to you, and it's okay to lighten up on the domains that don't really matter to your project. Thanks for listening for all 3 minutes. Have a good day.